I'm Jamie Oliver. My restaurant is Jamie Oliver, Catherine Street.
I'm Thomas Keller, French Laundry in Yountville, California.
I am Chef José Andrés, and my restaurant is Minibar, and a few others.
I'm Alice Waters, Chez Panisse Restaurant.
And today we are answering your questions.
Today, we're answering your questions about cooking. So Repeat Murphy says, griddle or grill? Which do you prefer for cooking burgers?
Griddle.
Griddle?
I go griddle.
I go grill.
Yeah. I think griddle's interesting because the fat stays around it, doesn't it? And gives you that crisp.
On the griddle is going to get so much more content and everything is going to be much more crunchier.
Texture is important.
Super important.
So that's why the griddle for me works, because it gets the texture. Now the flavor on a natural fire grill is better than the texture on a griddle.
Okay, so 1969 something Batman says, what's the best way to consistently get crispy bacon?
Take your time, cook it slowly, let it render, right? Low heat, let that, because it's really about rendering the fat out that results in the crispiness of the bacon. So if you're trying to do it quickly, you're not going to get crisp bacon. So just take your time.
Cast iron.
Yeah, it has to be a stove top.
It's also about the thickness.
Yeah.
When it's too thick, it's really
Gets
hard to
crispy.
get crisp.
Crispy bacon is the Darth Vader of bacon. Bacon was never supposed to be crispy, people. It was supposed to be used on the griddle, one side, the other, and eat it nice and fatty and warm. Crispy. Why crispy bacon?
Because we love the texture of crispy bacon.
This is Darth Vader.
We love the crunch.
99.9% of people don't know how to eat
This is
bacon.
American.
No, crispy bacon.
Here,
Get out of
send that
here,
over
people.
here.
I've got another one, guys. This is a goodie. Sapnus Pussus, 0. Chefs, is it rude to ask for a steak well done?
Not at all. I mean, we want to cook the best well-done steak you've ever had.
It's not rude to ask.
No.
It doesn't mean we won't think bad things of you.
No judgment on my part.
Yeah, when my kids order well-done steak on my dollar, that doesn't go down well.
Okay.
Wow.
And
You're a dictator.
Yes. Yeah, when it comes to steak.
At home, we agree.
Yeah.
At the restaurant, whatever the guest wants.
Yeah.
These things are easy to do. All of us have the capability. We eat, steaks that are rare, medium rare, just because that's what I like in my steak. Some people have to eat their medium well, well done.
I don't know.
Oh, Alice. So this person, Roderick Stark, asked, why are so many Americans obsessed with kosher salt? I'm not sure why he's just saying Americans.
I think it's quite an American thing.
Chefs in most part are using kosher salt around the world.
We don't really say kosher salt.
Because do you have iodized salt in the UK?
We have iodized salt, which is like table salt, and then we have sea salt.
And
I think we say sea salt, but it's got nothing to do with Jewish religion.
No.
It's not blessed.
Yeah, right. For me, it's a couple things. Number one, it's the grind, right? So we use the red box kosher salt because we're used to the coarseness of the grind. When you're picking up, 1 pinch, 2 pinch, 3 pinch, 4 pinch, then you know how much you're picking up because you get used to how much that grind is. So if it's a really super fine grind, then you're putting too much salt if you're used to the more medium grind. Kosher salt for us is without iodine, because if you taste salt that has iodine in it, it's very acrid. It kind of burns your palate, so it's not very pleasant. So our substitute is now kosher salt, which becomes the workhorse for our restaurants.
Yeah.
We use sea salt as a finishing salt, as a condiment, and different salts have different textures.
Okay, this is great because the username is
What?
Hot.
Yeah.
How do you spell that? What,
Yeah. Are you ready for this? What animal trash parts are still cheap and have not caught on yet?
Well, I don't think an animal has any trash parts. To respect where our food comes from, and an animal that's giving up his life, we don't want to say it's trash.
No.
Right?
I love pig's feet. I love chicken feet.
I love lungs.
Oh,
Lungs are really underrated, and you just don't see them in either of our countries. You'll see them in Spain and Italy, but lungs have the flavor that is, in my opinion, like the secret flavor of some of those ragouts you have in the Mediterranean. And when you go home and do exactly the same thing, you're like, why doesn't it taste the same? And it's often lungs through the sofrito.
Lamb brains, baby lamb brains. Yes. The eyes of a red snapper. Oh my God. The eyes of a red snapper?
Oh, so good.
Oh my God.
But that's not an animal.
What is that? An animal? A fish? A fish, an animal? All animals on Earth. Let's not get too about biology now.
How do I get my pasta sauce to be sticky and cling to my noodles better?
I mean, I always think it's that beautiful relationship between the pasta in question, some of that starchy water that it's cooked
That's
in,
right.
and some form of fat, whether it's butter or olive oil, or something that's rendered out of guanciale or something like that. But that classic emulsion, right, isn't it? It's that kind of coming together of water and fat, so it's cream without cream.
The amount of reduction, right? Just the appropriate amount of reduction to get the viscosity that you want. But if you're talking about pasta in general, some rigatoni have ridges, some of them don't. So the rigid ones want to capture that sauce in the rigids. The softer ones or the smoother ones don't.
Oh my God, the names are getting better. Magellan Spuma. What the heck? Okay, that's the question. Why do people like chicken thighs so much?
Alice, why don't you answer this one?
I kind of like the flavor of that dark meat. I think it's more moist, and the thigh cooks very evenly, and then you can have a very crusty skin.
More fat than the thighs, yeah.
Yeah, they should do chickens that they are only thighs. They should do thighs with feet and a head.
So this question is coming from Never Yellow. Is air frying just convection? I have no idea what air frying is.
I can answer this.
Okay.
So air frying is a heating element just the same as like the 1960s with a fan blowing the heat down. Convection is normally a fan with heating elements on both sides and you have circulating heat. Whereas air frying, which is very trendy right now, they'll say it's circulating and it is to a degree, but it's because they have a little trivet that allows a bit of air, but it's not equal. Okay. So it's probably about 75% top convection and a kind of slightly fictitious 25% convection on the bottom. It's not frying.
It's not frying.
But it's kind of a play on words, I think, and it's about rendering fat, I think.
But if you are able to spray even some oil in the surface of anything, that droplets of fat in the outside, in a way, kind of fry without submerging.
This is from Expensive Trust 8211.
Expensive Trust.
Yes.
Trust baby?
Trust. I don't.
You're getting all the good ones.
What essential kitchen tools do you recommend for someone who's just starting to cook?
What is yours?
Absolutely, a mandolin.
A mandolin.
And a mortar and a pestle.
Okay.
Beautiful.
But you know what we call a mandolin in the kitchen?
What?
A crippler. Because there are so many young people who are using mandolins and so quickly that they end up always cutting their fingers. And they're crippled. They've crippled themselves.
I
with
like
mandolin.
that Japanese inexpensive.
Yeah, that's what we use. Yeah, that's what we use now.
But you just have to be careful. But the mortar and pestle, for me, is indispensable.
Okay. But a knife?
A knife's a good idea too.
Okay.
And obviously a good set of pots and pans that will last you forever. 30 years ago, I was given one set that is the same one I use today.
Yeah. Shaka Brada asks, general question, how long do you leave your steak out at room temperature before grilling?
Depends what the room temperature is, I guess.
Depends on the size of the steak.
2 hours, 3 hours, and nothing is going to happen to you
No,
people.
nothing's going to
It's
happen.
like eggs. I mean, my mom always had the eggs outside and nothing happened. So more time, the better.
Yes.
Would you ever take a steak out of the fridge and put it right in a pan?
Never.
If I'm really hungry.
If you had a really cold steak in a really hot pan, if you go rare or medium rare, it's going to be chilled in the middle.
It doesn't cook correctly.
No.
No, it doesn't cook correctly. It needs to be all at the same temperature.
Specialist Plum 673 asks, what is a very, very American ingredient?
American cheese.
That special mustard that you get on burgers, what's it, is it Frenchies? Yeah.
French's. Heinz ketchup.
Ketchup will win the day.
Tabasco sauce.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Everywhere, every bar in the world has Tabasco sauce. Every restaurant that serves oysters has Tabasco sauce.
But then if we go with the bounty of the goodness of the earth or the sea, I would say oysters. You can go to Des Moines, Iowa, and in an Irish pub, they'll have a special of oysters. I would say oysters is a very American ingredient.
Okay, so this is a person whose name is Denim Duck.
Denim Duck.
Denim Duck asks, why don't Michelin chefs use a food processor for onions? We like to do things with our hands, of course, and depending if you're dicing an onion, you don't want to put it in a food processor because you want consistency in the shape of the dice.
When I was young, we were using a meat grinder.
A meat grinder.
Because we were doing so many onions. And the meat grinder was very effective.
Yeah,
The truth is that, it was kind of a
Bruised and
onion soupy final product. The answer was, we were making sofrito.
That's my point. If you're going to be cooking it for 5 hours, it doesn't really matter. Put them in a food processor, put them in a meat grinder.
A deleted user says, I give up. Why do non-stick pans always lose their non-sticks? I would say if you're losing your non-stickiness, it's because it wasn't good enough quality in the first place and you're using metal tools. If in doubt, get yourself a cast iron pan and you'll be fine. I don't think non-stick pans will last forever.
Point, yeah.
I mean, non-stick pans have allowed us to make amazing things.
Yeah.
Now the issue is, are they healthy enough?
The new ones are. Yes, they've removed a lot of the chemicals that were prominent in the old versions of nonstick pans.
Technology has improved. Okay, so chefs, our answers were okay.
I'm not sure.
Did we look like experts, like legends
You guys.
of chef's table?
I think we had more comments than answers, actually.
Can you explain to me in English what a deleted user means?
It's just like a.
Is somebody you kill after asking the question?
A deleted user?
They deleted
Yeah.
the account.
What happened? What are you doing to them after they ask the question?
Look, if it's the wrong question,
You want to undergo? Oh my
start
God!
asking questions sometimes.
A deleted user ask. I mean, this is very
Yeah.
strange. I don't want to
That
be part
is
of this.
strange.